You're ready.
Chair Hyland, Vice Chair Baishu, we're ready when you are.
At this time, I will call the Parks and Community Events Commission meeting to order. Roll call. May we have the roll call, please?
Commissioner Herrera,
Present.
Commissioner Jimenez,
Present.
Commissioner Martinez,
I'm present.
Vice Chair Baishu,
Present.
Chair Hyland.
Here.
And before we move on, staff would like to make some introductions.
Yeah, Vice Chair, Chair, and fellow commissioners, Public Works has some additions to the department. I'd like to introduce them. So I'll introduce Luis Perez in our environmental division. He'll be working under Deanna. You want to stand up and wave your hand? There you go. We also have David Razzo in engineering. David, stand up. There we go. And then also, we're really privileged to have Jesus Gutierrez as our technician one coming in. Stand up. There you go. So it's really good that we have these positions. We're starting to be able to at least respond and do what we need to do on a normal basis. And it relieves at least Deanna Pressgrove as the manager of Public Works and Armando Baldizone, our city engineer, of being able to do a little higher level work that's always needed to be done. So with that, Vice Chair, continue, please.
Public comments.
Public comment is the opportunity for members of the public to comment on any item not appearing on the agenda. Please state your name and residence for the record. Each speaker will have 3 minutes to speak. Are there any requests to speak at this time? I see none, Vice Chair.
Agenda finalization.
There are no changes.
Agenda.
Oh, I apologize. We actually have minutes. This must have been from the last meeting. We do need to do the minutes first. So I'll set us on the minutes. And it will be the minutes of November 7th.
What? I don't know. Right here?
Vice Chair, can you see it on your screen?
It just came off the screen. What am I doing?
Okay, so we're doing the approval of the minutes. So are there any comments from the commission on the minutes of November 7th?
No, I make a motion to approve the minutes.
Second.
And just for the record, I did not receive any requests to speak on this item either. Okay, so I'm going to go ahead and start the e-vote. Commissioner Martinez, if you would please motion. Chair Hyland, if you would please second. Please vote. And motion carries all ayes. Thank you.
Agenda.
John, will you lead us in the agenda, please?
Yes, first item, as requested by the commission, we are going to welcome, let me get up on our speed here, so we have this. Okay, so you had asked for a review of CV Link security as it is today. There was a mention there might be some challenges out there today and then going forward. And then the fact that the Dream Homes Park, yet unnamed, is going in right next to it. Construction will start fairly quick, and worried about ongoing security. So we're privileged to have Investigations Commander Rick Sanchez here from the Cathedral City Police Department to give you an update. And this is the good time to ask all your questions regarding that. Thank you.
Good evening, ladies and gentlemen of the Commission. Like John said, my name is Rick Sanchez. I am the Investigations Commander for the Cathedral City Police Department, And I am here to hopefully answer any questions you may have regarding the security of the CV Link and the proposed Dream Homes Park being built. Right now, in regards to the CV Link, some of the steps the police department is taking to secure that route is obviously visible patrol. Having our patrol units in the area, actually getting out of the units, contacting individuals, and just showing a presence in that area so they understand that, hey, you know what, this isn't an area that's going unsupervised or an area that's being left alone. So actually going out there and also ensuring the cyclists that, hey, you know what, we actually see the police out there, you know, because we have a lot of people that walk on that path as well. Another thing that we do is we have our HLO officers. We have 2 officers that actually go out there and they contact several of the unhoused individuals in that wash area, because sometimes that wash area, I mean, although we share it with Palm Springs, they kind of make their way there and then they go through the desert, through the CV Link. So a lot of our HLO go down there and they contact them, they let them know, they provide the services and stuff, so they don't just wander in that area. Another thing that we do have, we recently started our motor division. We have a sergeant and 2 motor officers with, not these are our bicyclists, but we actually have officers that will actually be able to get on the path a lot faster if needed because they are on motorcycles. Here you can see this is actually the CV Link here, and we have several officers that have been certified in bicycle patrol, so they themselves can go down the CV Link from start to finish and drive it to make sure that everything's safe and secure, and if there's any issues that we need to address. There's our newly formed motor officers, our traffic division. I'm sure you've heard of them in Cathedral City. They're very popular right now. Yeah. Some people are glad to see them, others are not. Right? So I guess it depends on what side of the fence you're on. And then there you can see our cyclists. We sent 3 of our officers to become certified trainers, so they can actually come back and train the trainer. So they can, although we have 8 that have been trained, they can train the entire department if need be with the bicycles. I also went ahead and I pulled up the calls for service for the CV Link area, and there is actually nothing to report. We haven't really had any calls at all. I pulled them up for the entire year. I had our crime analyst who works directly under me. I said, hey, anything and everything, all the information you can give so I can provide to the commission. And he said, hey, Commander, we don't have any calls for service. We may have had a disturbance where maybe an unhoused individual may have walked up there. We sent our HLO who provided them services and they left. But other than that, we haven't had any really bicycle thefts. We haven't had any types of crimes and things like that. So I'm not sure if you have any other questions in regards to the CV Link. But I can go ahead and talk about the park now.
I just had one question.
Yes, sir.
For future, I know there's some like where you can get like on certain areas like college campuses where you could be walking through areas and they kind of have like panic buttons, you know, throughout college campuses. Is that anything that was ever discussed along CV Link for, you know, for issues that might come up, just for safety related issues?
I'll send that to John.
No, in the design phase, no, it is it's considered a transportation corridor, but that's a good question. The challenge we have is we maintain CV Link, and we're still working out who does the ultimate maintenance of CV Link with CVAG right now. We may end up inheriting it, but we weren't the ones funding the construction. A portion of this one was with another grant to supplement it, but it's really all under CVAG's control on the design. And that may be something that as we go through and this CV Link gets bigger across the valley, that we work with CVAG to provide the funding to get something like that in, if indeed there's a lot of calls for service on there.
Okay.
But that's an interesting point, yeah.
Okay. Or cameras, anything like that? That's never been discussed?
No, not at this point.
I'll tell you what, those blue lights, having attended a college and being on a college campus, they do give you a sense of security. I mean, whether you need them or not, just knowing that they're there. So I think that's an excellent thing.
Just a
Excellent
deterrent,
point.
knowing
Yes,
that, you know,
exactly,
help
yes.
is just that far away.
Yeah, no, I agree. I mean, like I said, just someone walking or on a bicycle, I mean, it just gives you that sense of security. If you need it, it's available for you. So no, I think that's an excellent point. We'll go on to the park now. So I'm sure you guys have seen some of these renderings here. So there will be a park perimeter fence, a 6-foot block wall fence along the residential lots. There's also going to be security lighting throughout the park. The lighting's going to cover the large dog park, the playgrounds, the picnic zones, the basketball courts, parking lots, the walkway paths, the circulation area, the central plaza, and the picnic shelters. They're also going to install 6 security cameras that the police department, including dispatch, will have immediate access to. So just like in Ocotillo Park and the other parks that we have, we're able to monitor it on a daily basis. And we're seeing real live, real-time video surveillance, so we can give any updates to any officers being sent to that area. So that's definitely a huge security measure that we take that we like. Another thing is they're going to have a 10-foot wide concrete sidewalk, which will provide access for emergency vehicles. So paramedics can go, the fire department, the police department, we have access to that. They're also going to, obviously for us, we're going to do the enforcement of the park hours of operation, from dusk till dawn, making sure that people don't congregate there after hours. Just like most parks, sometimes people, especially teenagers, when school's out or on the weekends, they make their ways to some of these parks after hours, and they start doing things that they probably shouldn't be doing. So, yeah, it's incumbent upon us, the police department, to make sure that we're patrolling these parks, that we're not allowing them to congregate after hours as well. And then one of the other things that they talked about, I believe they're going to have sinks for the restrooms. They're going to be on the outside of the restrooms. So you'll only need to use, when you go to the restroom, you just do your bit, and then you wash your hands outside. So it's just in and out. So we don't have people in there trying to take a bath or a shower or wash up. So I am open for any questions, if you have any questions in regards to the park.
No, but I'd like to thank you and the department. Actually, I took another trip down there this morning because I'm close by it.
Okay.
And I walked along the CV Link, and it's a lot cleaner than I've ever seen it, one of the few times. There's not as many homeless, which is great. I only saw one, but I was very impressed that when I was coming back southbound, and I was parked on Sarah Street, I saw a patrol vehicle pass by.
Yes, sir.
And it's a nice deterrent, but it was a nice sight to see. So I want to thank you for that.
Thank you, sir. Yeah, visible presence. That's one of the biggest deterrents that are out there, them knowing that we're there. Any other questions? Whether CV Link or the park?
Anything that you'd suggest for like graffiti deterrents? I know I've seen an uptick in graffiti, and I hear 6-foot block wall, and I think Tiger's Dream. So
I will tell you what, recently, the whole Coachella Valley, I don't know if you went down East Palm, but it went all the way down to Palm Desert. Mm-hmm. From Cathedral City to Rancho Mirage to Palm Desert. I don't know if it was a tagging crew, some teenagers that just happened to be going through the area. What we're fortunate in that when someone reports it, it's taken down within 24 hours. Knowing that you're going to put it up and it's going to come down, they usually target other places where it's going to stay up a little longer. So because the city does such a good job of, hey, and anybody can report it, whether it be on through your app on your phone, you call into dispatch, but you just put that, take a photo of it, send it, they color match it, they come in, it's down. If you spent a couple hours putting that work up and then the next day you go and it's down, you're probably going to go look for a different wall to go tag on where it might stay a little longer. So, yeah, no, excellent question. Anything else?
Actually, just a question for John. I can't remember, between the CV Link itself and the park, is there going to be a fence? Or right now there's that chain link fence. Today I just thought about it.
Yeah, there's a small fence, and we're actually putting up on the real property line a small fence, but it's not going to be a 6-foot high fence. It's more of a 4-foot fence.
Okay.
There is, between CV Link and the proposed park, that area is all supplemental infiltration area for the stormwater channel.
All right.
Thank you very much.
Thank you very
All
much.
right, thank you.
And Vice Chair Baishu, we did not receive any requests to speak on this item, and we do not have any members of the public in attendance.
Item number 3.
And just We appreciate the compliment on maintenance, and that's Public Works doing, because we're doing the lion's share of the maintenance
Yes.
on.
I understand. I've seen you guys out there numerous times.
Deanna has the crews get through that area at least once a week, so.
Okay, on to item number 3. John, would you like to introduce this?
Yes. So the parks and community events, the PACE Dream Homes Park Naming Subcommittee, which is composed of Commissioner Jimenez and Commissioner Herrera, have been working to, and I know Commissioner Jimenez has been doing the lion's share of this. You appointed a subcommittee the last meeting of citizen volunteers on there, and they're named in your staff report. So we have Simone Sheffield, Yvette Perez, Sergio Esperqueta, and Ishmael Rodriguez. I had a good meeting with Commissioner Jimenez the other day, and he brought in a list of the names of the houses and the locations that they've been at, and he at least was able to report on 65. And Commissioner Jimenez, do you want to talk about some of the challenges you have in at least getting to doors and communicating with people?
Some of the challenges that we have in Dream Homes, that's probably about 60 or 70% of the residents. They have gated, so we cannot get to them. The rest of them, we're trying as much as we can to get a lot of people to name the park, but unfortunately, none of them wants another name. I don't know why. I don't ask them. They didn't want no other name than the one that they. And the name do they choose? That's not because I told them to name it in that name. That's because that people, that residents, hear somebody else about the name, and they like the name, and they know what that means. That's not me. I don't have nothing to do with that. So that's a residents hearing to another people, and that's how they call that name.
So in continuum on that, rather than having brought that with at least the effort now, and the effort's been really good so far, Commissioner Jimenez brought up that give us another month, Christmas, holiday season is here, more families get together, more people can talk, and you can run into more people. In addition to that, I told him we'd help him because of the fact that they can't get to the doors and gates, that we'd produce a flyer. So our two analysts don't know that they're going to produce a real quick flyer on if they want to name the park. They're going to have Commissioner Jimenez's name and Commissioner Herrera's name that they can submit a name to. They're going to put an email down on it. So that's your project, first project for the next couple days. And then we'll provide the flyers for the subcommittee. They can go out and at least put it on the chain link gates and doors in their mailboxes out there so that people, we've done the best effort to try getting the names. So we'll bring that back to the next available meeting once we accumulate it. It could be at the February meeting because we need to compile that information. So we're going to go with that as the best effort, and then the subcommittee is going to come back, build a staff report with the staff liaisons, and produce a document that you can look at and make a recommendation on that name or any other name that crops up. Anything else to add, Commissioners Herrera or Jimenez, to that?
No, nothing else.
Okay, so we'll be back on this item. So this was more of an update.
Those flyers, we can pick them up here at City Hall by...
Yeah, I'll call either one of you, and I'll just give you a pile, or they'll be available here, yes. We'll let you know when they're done.
We'll have to print, there'll be a PDF file, so when that file is created, we'll send it to Christina, which will send it to you guys as a PDF, and then I'll let you know how many extras are ready for pickup, so you can just distribute them as well. There's about 600 households in that neighborhood, so we'll make sure to mail them to each household. With a pre-postcard little thing on the top so that they don't have to pay for the return. So that all they have to do is fill it out, put it back. We did the same thing for the amphitheater, and then I'll work with the engineering department. We'll do that little stamp, so they just need to fill it out, drop it back in their mailbox, and we're good to go.
Okay, because I'm hearing two things. You're saying you're going to mail them, which is a good idea, but John's saying stick them in the...
Deanna stepped up to the plate, and that's
Yeah,
good,
she's-
but we'll also provide you some handouts so that if you're at a holiday event, people are in the street, hand them out a flyer. We're taking the risk that they'll end up in the street or something, but if you look them in the eyes and hand it to them, said, we'd really like a response, a lot of people will react to that, so. Okay.
Item number 4.
And Vice Chair Baishu, just for the record, we do not have any requests to speak on item number 3. So moving on to item number 4.
All right, item number 4 is January's meeting, which happens the day after New Year's Day. There's a qualifier here. In addition to that, with the holidays and everything and the effort putting into the naming committee, we see that as already coming back in February. We don't have any other substantial items to put on the agenda. We have a very short trigger if you do have items on the agenda. So staff is actually recommending that we postpone that day after New Year's Day, that we come back and reconvene on February 6th? Yep.
Do we know when Mary Nutter is in town?
It is included in the mailer, and it's towards March.
Because I wanted us to have an information booth through our commission.
We can still, if there's any.
Okay, so I can still have time at February 6th and get it, okay.
So if there's any, I believe we have plenty of time, because I believe it's closer to March, but us having a booth, if you ever want a booth, you don't necessarily need to come back here. We can work with Christina, put out a tube, you want to sit at a booth,
We want to do an information, we were asked last year, Gary Marshall and I, to be at an information booth that was non-existent, so we thought, well, let's really do one this year. So we will set one up, and maybe we get some bags from the city, or there's thousands of people here in the city that we can give them directions and stuff to restaurants. And
Remember, when you go to city council, it's only to spend unless it's a big event, something that's going to grow, to spend money out of your account. You can organically support existing events.
Okay.
Obviously, we're going to talk to the communications manager, and you can put on smaller events that are, basically approved by this commission. It's when they get bigger, which I've complimented at least, all the members. You have put on some big events that really are becoming city events, and they may end up in the city schedule. So we still want to work on those organic, smaller events. And having the booth is something that doesn't cost us anything. We have all the stuff for a table and a booth type thing, right, Deanna?
Oh, yeah, we already have a tablecloth, yes.
Perfect.
The previous commission had instigated and moved some of this forward, and I believe we did have a parks booth at Mary Nutter years ago. We handed out
Right.
little bags, little brochures, so we can get.
I'd like to do something like that.
And all that city swag, most of it's already been purchased through the environmental fund and all the promos, so you're good to go. In fact, we encourage that.
So put that on the list of something that we want to do as a group here.
Well, let's put that as an agenda item just to secure your volunteers and to let the public know at the February meeting then.
February 22nd.
Yeah, we'll do that at the February 6th meeting.
Got it.
So, staying on the agenda item, your direction here from staff is a request that you formalize the fact that we're going to go dark on January 2nd and have our next meeting, February 6th.
Okay.
So you can actually use that as if someone wants to make a motion.
Yeah, I'll make a motion to cancel January 2nd meeting and reconvene at the February 4th,
I'll second
6th
it.
meeting.
I'll second it.
Okay, I'm going to go ahead and, give me a
We
second.
need public comment.
We did not receive any requests to speak on this item. Give me 1 second. I'm going to add a motion into the system. Okay. Okay, we can go ahead and have the motion in the second. Motion carries all ayes. Thank you.
Staff comments?
Yes, there's been a few discussions on certain events, and I have spoken to Commissioner Bishu, Vice Chair Bishu on that, so I'm going to tell everyone, your events, some of them are becoming very big and popular. That's excellent, that's kudos to you. Once it gets to, I'm going to give you the parameter of 50 to 75 people. That's manageable for the commission to do it organically, not expend a lot of funds, not expend a lot of city resources. The ones that are starting to get over 100, even the Halloween dog contest starts expending city resources, and it becomes popular enough it could be calendared as an event on the city's event. So I encourage, when you have this inkling, or we'll even have a discussion with you, if someone wants to call in and ask and say, what do you think of this event, or send an email, it may prompt us to say, go see Ryan Hunt, our events and communications manager, that it may fall into their bailiwick. With the support of his assistant, Christina, they may take the ball and run with it. We want to make sure it doesn't conflict with other city events. And this commission is always encouraged to support that. That is basically your charge per the ordinance. So no one's, just to make sure we're clear here, we're not putting the brakes on anything, but our liaison in our departments doesn't have the bandwidth to cover a lot of the stuff that you're doing, because some of these events are getting immensely popular. Like the Old Gays event that you did, there's a significant amount of people with that. So, and hopefully one of you want to report on that in the commissioner's comments. That'd be great. So I'm just emphasizing, let's start running things through us if it's an event type thing, and we'll say, yep, commission can do it organically, and we can go through the normal process. Expenditures have to be approved by this city council. If it's an organic event, you're not going to have any expenditures. You don't need to go through city council. If it's a bigger event and we can gauge it, we'll have to at least run it through, basically, I'll just say the city communication and events manager.
I know we'd previously discussed having one of them at our meetings. Is that still something going forward?
Pardon me?
Sorry, hard to project. I know we discussed having one of them at our meetings, so that would be helpful if we had either
Communications
Christina or Ryan
department.
Ryan or someone else.
Yeah, and we can have Ryan, in fact, our communication events in February, we'll have him do an update on bigger events, and then we'll open it up so that you guys can ask some pertinent questions regarding other events or how you feel you can work with him on that. But I'll just emphasize that our staff doesn't have the bandwidth to do some of the stuff you're doing in the resources, and it starts getting into our staff's overtime, which we didn't budget for, and other things. And if they're going to be these bigger calendared events, we project that out into the next year. So when Deanna does the budget, she gets with Ryan on her budget, and they project out what they have to expend as internal resources that in turn gets approved by the city council. So, okay?
Committee member comments, Commissioner Martinez.
Okay, I guess I'll do a trails update. A couple months ago, I met with Mayor Lamb and someone from the engineering department.
Andrew Lee.
Andrew Lee. It's been a long day. So we did discuss some options, and I did take those options back to the Coachella Valley Trails Sub-Management Committee of the Conservation Commission. And they are very interested in trying to get a trailhead from Cathedral City somewhere into the Palm Hills. The other option that was also discussed is that, just so the members know what are the options, there's 2 lots, one behind Quack Quack Car Wash on 111. One idea is have parking there, go up the wash, buy there's another vacant land, and then it'd go into the 60-acre parcel that Cathedral City owns. Apparently that lot is privately owned, and the owner does not wish to talk about selling it at the moment. But the other option, there is a 5-acre lot behind the old Moore Furniture. I did look it up. It's open space zoned. So, well, we asked for a meeting with Coachella Valley Mountain Conservancy. So with the holidays, that hasn't been scheduled with Mayor Lamb, Chair Highland, and myself. So we're going to try to get them to possibly try and purchase the piece of land and maybe open a connector trail, because I think that was one of their options in the past. Also, the agenda item we had, I think it was October, I had submitted something. I did pass that along to Oswald Land Trust, and maybe they might be interested because the land does abut their property. So we are working. We don't have much to report. It's move slowly, but we are making baby steps.
Commissioner Jimenez. Comments?
Nothing much. I just still working with the residents for the name of the park.
Commissioner Herrera.
Yeah, so since we had our last meeting, we were kind of right in the middle of the Fields of Valor event that, we had going on with the Rotary. Since then, we wrapped that up. We had our closing ceremony. Chairman Ehrman came out, joined us for closing ceremonies. It was a beautiful event. I'm thankful for all the city staff that came out, police department, fire department, and everybody else that, they just attended and volunteered their time. It was a really touching event that we had. And then I just wanted to put out a reminder, too, that this coming weekend on December 9th, we have the North Pole Village Snowfest coming up. With that, they're still looking for volunteers, so they need volunteers for snow guard. They're going to be bringing in snow, and they're going to have a play area for the children with the snow out there. And so they need snow guards just to kind of keep people from throwing snowballs, things along those lines. And along with that, they have some winter games that are going to be out there. They have the Elf Workshop, which is going to be working with the Scrap Gallery. They're going to have out there, volunteers are needed to help the kids make their gingerbread ornaments. They're going to have games like pin the carrot on the snowman and pin the red nose on Rudolph. And they have some cornhole snowball games. So if anybody has the opportunity to come out and volunteer their time, we're also having a dog contest. Small dogs, large dogs, and they have gift cards for each one. So they have Roman's Frenchies is going to be out there as one of the judges, Rachel Roman, Miguel Corona from Corona Pools, and Nancy Ross. So if anybody has the time and would like to come out on Saturday, we'll be out there.
I looked at the website and there was nothing about what time the dog contest
The
was.
times I have, just a second. The dog show starts at 4, and
Can the commission show up to do the part that we have a partnership with? We all voted here to be part of that dog contest?
it's all volunteers, so anybody from the community.
No, but we were supposed to run that 1 hour. You know, it was an agenda item. I put the motion to vote, you seconded it. It went on to the city council, and now we're not part of the dog contest. So can we just be part of the part that we agreed to do?
Yeah, if you want to come down and be part of the dog competition.
So we can just show up and be that one part? Because we were told by the event sponsor, event organizer, that they had that covered, that they didn't need us. So can we just do the part that we voted on?
I mean, we're looking for volunteers for everything, so if you
Right.
want to show up for the dog
Well,
contest.
it's the part we agreed to do.
Dog contest.
So why don't we do that? So what time is the dog contest?
Starts at 4.
4 o'clock. So everybody available that day? Are you available? Available to do the?
Yeah, I'm planning on putting it.
For our commission at 4 o'clock? Yes, so the 5 of us are available to do the dog contest at 4 o'clock on Saturday.
That's fine. Just a reminder, though, this isn't a commission event, so
Well,
we're
we've-
not putting on this
Vice
event.
Chair Bayshu, Chair Highland, if I may, we are not in the agenda topic, so we cannot discuss this item. We do need to keep it to comments, and we can ask any questions of staff. So if
Well, then I have a question for staff. We voted to be in a partnership with the organizers of the Snowfest, and they were at our event collecting signatures. We put up a table for them. We did everything as part of our agreement. So now our agreement was supposed to be that we were supposed to do their part and volunteer that 1 hour. So can we just do the part that we agreed to the staff?
All the Snowfest is accepting volunteers for all different aspects, so I'm sure that we can work that out. I don't want any more than 2 commissioners discussing that, so if both of you want to talk to me afterwards, we'll talk.
So I'd like us to to come to a conclusion here now.
This is just for each commissioner to discuss
Right, so-
their updates, so we can talk about this after the meeting.
All right, fine.
So I'll expect a discussion with you, Vice Chair Bishu, and Commissioner Herrera.
Okay, perfect. Chair Highland.
I don't have much of a voice, but the event last week was absolutely touching to see so many new faces attend our events. To have an adult-themed event that wasn't centered around kids or the dog park was really a nice pivot for us, and it went fantastic. And I was so happy to be a part of it and get to greet everybody that came to the event last week. So well done, very well done.
Thank you. She did the check-in on the Old Gays event last week. We had 180 people show up. We had a great event. And it was a collaboration between us and PAC, which is kind of cool that we had 2 commissions working together. I think when everybody works together on the same mission, it's kind of a great thing. And it was a great night for us. It was a great night for PAC, but it was really a great night for Cathedral City. And before I came here tonight, I went to the Museum of Ancient Wonders, and I thought that was really cool. And if anyone's listening, it's free for any Cathedral City resident, and it's going to be all the way, I think, through April. Does that sound right, Deanna? Maybe? Yes. Okay, so it's a wonderful exhibit, so if you have a chance to check that out, do it. I will adjourn the meeting. Christina,
Yes, thank you.
this meeting is adjourned. Thank you.